I started watching. I don't know if you know that or not, but
That's
um,
good.
I've been watching you for years,
That's awesome.
and I love the chalkboard. Okay, so anybody
Yeah.
that knows you knows about the chalkboard. And anyway, your link's down below, guys. So mods, if you could grab the link down below too and share it throughout the live stream, that would be great. And the first thing I'm going to start off with for everybody, we're going to talk silver, gold. We'll even talk a little bit about platinum and palladium because that came up for some people this week. And then we're going to talk about what's going on. We've had massive upswings
Upswings
with very
with
many.
very many.
Oh, we're getting a
Oh,
repeat
we're
there.
getting a repeat there.
I was getting a repeat before. Is that better or worse?
Let's see.
I'm hearing you in here.
Yeah, now we're good.
Okay, great.
So we're going to talk about all this price going up of gold and silver, and then today all of a sudden it just drops, and everybody is just losing their mind on social media that is a Bitcoiner. Okay, I've been all over X, and they've actually been freaking out a little bit this week, and I want to talk about that too, Silver Heist. See if you've got
Who's
any, if
freaking
you've
out?
seen it.
Who's
Bitcoiners.
freaking out?
They've been freaking out of
Bitcoiners are
what
freaking
gold's
out.
doing.
Oh, they're freaking out because gold was doing too good.
Yes.
But then what did they do today? Did they do a happy dance?
Yes, it was horrible.
Yeah, see? It's all short term.
So that was a little bit crazy today. But anyway, we're going to hit that stuff. And then we're going to talk about what's in our carts. Am I buying? Is Silver Heist buying? Have we been buying it all? What's going on? So to start off, everybody, if you could go ahead and double tap the screen. This is a new format for us. We're trying this out. YouTube's really pushing this. So we want to see how many people we can get on here.
Yeah.
On Monday, when we did this, we had 250 people watching consistently or concurrently. And I think we got about 8,200 views, which is awesome. And
fantastic. Congratulations.
why? Thank you. And why do we care, guys? We want to get this message out there, right? We could be doing other things on a Friday night. So could you. But
I could
like,
be
for example,
writing. I could be thinking about my video for the weekend.
there you
Instead,
go.
I'm live without a net with you fine people.
For sure. I could be watching the Dodgers game tonight. So I'm going to try to have it on my computer over here to at least get some live updates for you guys that are LA fans. But anyway, double tap the screen. That's how they do likes on this format. So we'll do that kind of repeatedly throughout. I know that'll be a little annoying. We get to 100, we're going to do silver giveaways. Okay. So that's the key. Let's get over 100 thumbs up before the video is over. If we get to 200, we'll do something else too. We'll sweeten the pot.
Okay.
If you guys won gauze, those will be shipping out on Monday. And those will be going out. And then also remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you guys don't miss anything.
Yeah.
And also check out Silver Heist video.
Yeah,
not video,
so
but channel.
Your mods,
and his videos come out.
LL has posted a link to my channel.
Okay, perfect.
And which is great. And so I'm actually watching on my laptop on a big screen. So it does show up on a laptop, kind of like this, but with some extra black bars because it's kind of like
black bars. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm watching on my phone. Well, for this live deal, and it's kind of like this. It's all good.
Okay, that sounds good. So Silver Heist.
Yes, sir.
The first thing I want to start off by saying is, my first question for you: what do you think's happening right now? Let's just look at the last 30 days. We've seen silver and gold go up quite a bit, and then today, we saw things go down. But we've had intraday downs throughout the last month, but they always seem to be popping up at the end of the day.
Okay.
Do you think we're in a bull market? Is this something that's just normal for gold and silver? Are you seeing something different happening? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'd say is not a normal market the last 60 days. And I don't have the numbers handy, but it just went on a tear. So I think the biggest driver of this whole deal, which I made a video in mid-August saying 39 days and silver stacking changes forever. And it has held true. And what I anticipated was that there'd be a September Fed meeting, and that Fed meeting was highly skewed towards lowering rates. And not only that, but the Fed tool was saying October's going to lower and December's going to lower, like 3 lowers in a row. And that has held true. And the closer we got to September, so like people started to bid silver and gold up, anticipating the cuts. And then when the cuts became true and they could see the next two being more true, except kept going up more. And it just went crazy over the last 30 days or 10 days. Unprecedented, like no fallbacks at all. Like silver is going up $1 a day. And I was almost going to make a video tomorrow, but I was like, hypothetically, if you have 1,000 ounces, like on Monday, your value went up $1,000, and then the next day another 1,000, and like so so things change in 7 days, because by the time my video goes from my head to Saturday morning, things can change, and it changed today. So good thing I didn't put that video out like Thursday night.
Yeah.
But it still generally holds true. So there's a lot going on. I really still think the Fed decision is what's driving it. And, we all want peace in the Middle East and or Ukraine. And we don't want a trade war with China. And I think the headlines I saw today was more about peace with China, maybe popping some of the bubble or the froth. I don't want to say bubble, but I'd say some of the froth. And so there's a lot we can talk about, but and this may be coming out in a video this weekend. It's like, well, the media fanned the flames the last 7 days, and then this happened. So by the time you see it on Good Morning America, yeah, bad things are going to happen soon. And they did. So I think the media got onto a nice little gold story like 7 days ago. And then 6 days later, all hell breaks loose, So
Yeah, I think it's been crazy. So one question I want to ask, put a 1 in the chat if you guys have watched a video from Silver Heist in the past. I want to see how many people have watched some of his videos. What I love about your videos is you come in with a pretty singular subject most of the time, and you like to hit both sides of it and you back them up. A
Yeah.
lot of people will just say things, they don't really back up their opinions or their thoughts on things. And I think it's important because when we have a move like we did today, or even the last 60 days, like you pointed out, um, people are trying to figure out, are we just having a bubble and prices are going to go back down? And so on X I saw, or Twitter, I saw a lot of people posting, get ready for $15 silver, it's going to
Okay.
crash now.
No.
And that was 2 weeks ago. And in order for it to get down to 15, I think we would have to have a complete an SHTF like no one's seen before. Something worse than the Great Depression for it to go down there.
I think the other weird theory, because there's a lot of YouTube opinions out there, there would have to be the greatest United States orchestrated rug pull to crypto future rug pull you've ever seen in your life. So that's the only thing I think could really bust up, the gold and silver, is if there's some serious 7-dimensional chess going on, that's going to pivot the US Fort Knox into the crypto Fort Knox of the world. Other than that, it's all still going to fall back onto gold. I don't believe the Fort Knox crypto vault. I think gold still has a role.
I still think there's gold in there too. There may not be as much as 8,000 tons.
Yeah, but we're not selling Fort Knox to buy crypto.
But we're not going to sell that.
Big point. That ain't
it doesn't make any sense.
That's not going to happen. That would be the greatest rug pull ever, but that's not going to happen.
Let me put it this way. If we do that, the rug pull is pulling ourselves, right? As a country, we're going to destroy ourselves if we do that. Bitcoin is not going to hold up to gold, especially in world markets. If the BRICS nation goes and backs with gold and we back with Bitcoin, it'll be pretty ugly. All those countries have to do is ban Bitcoin, and you cut off more than half of the people that could potentially own it. But it also doesn't make sense, that they would ever do that, because you can continue to revalue gold. There's no reason to ever sell it.
Yeah.
All you have to do is take it from $42.22 and 2 more decimal places, revalue it to 4,000. And when it gets to 5, revalue it to 5,000. When it gets to 6, revalue to 6,000. If you really wanted to do that, if you wanted to create some enemies, you could revalue it to $50,000 and you basically rug pull the rest of the world that has dollars. But yeah, I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
But one other question I have along these lines too, then for you is, how long of a cycle do you think we might have here? Are you seeing this as kind of a short term thing that's with gold and silver going up? Some people out there are talking about it's just inflation based, right? Or it's based on the shutdown, or it's based on the rates going up, or sorry, going down. Um, Other people say we're about to have the dollar completely go to zero. Others say, we're going into the beginning stages of a currency. Um, let's just call it a reset.
Mhm.
And those can take time. They don't necessarily happen overnight. But what do you think's happening here? And do you think we're going to see gold and silver continue to move upwards for a long period of time, several years, or do you think it's going to be short lived?
I think it's going to be long term. I hate to say like things are different this time because it sort of seems like the all time highs. It's like are we at the end of the 1981 or the 2011 type thing? And it's like I think we're more like at the beginning. Like this is, and if we get a correction, like we haven't had any corrections in the last 60 days. If we get a correction, so be it. But it's not going to be a big, big, big correction. Just in my I don't think it's wishful thinking. I don't see things changing. Even when
Yeah.
silver was moving from like 32 to 35 to 38, the talking points were the same. It's like, oh, there's a shortage, there's lots of, solar panels, there's lots of this, there's lots of that. People are electrifying. These are the talking points I got from Keith Newmeyer 3 years ago when I interviewed him in person. It's like nothing, but all of a sudden, like the market started paying attention, and so I think definitely the difference is gold leading the way and the central banks leading the way on gold. So there's a huge amount of countries. This is a video title, so I'm not going to give away the answer. But there's a country that's doubled its gold reserves, and it's now in the top 10. I mean, there's some countries who are buying gold and not just like China and India and Russia. So there's other countries who are buying gold who have doubled their reserves in the last 5 years. So people are buying gold at the country level. And then the citizens of like Turkey and India and even the citizens of China are buying gold. I'm sure the Germans and Austrians are buying gold. Americans are buying gold. So um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
saved a
we're
post
buying
from X
gold.
today. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I did a bookmark on it. I won't be able to bring it up here, but it was a huge line. It is gold rush in Vietnam as people storm shops to buy and sell the yellow metal, which now
Yeah.
trades at over 4,300 per ounce. Anyway, it's not a little, it's not just a few people.
Wasn't it
It's it
Japan? Was there
it's
a
huge.
Twitter headline about Japan? Japan
There
like
there
stormed
probably is
their
too.
coin
So
stores.
Asia's getting it, right?
Yeah.
People that live in Asia are understanding, and maybe even more so Southeast Asia, but they understand what gold is, what the real value of it is,
Yeah.
and where it's going. Um, and I agree with you. Like, I started really stacking heavily in 2021 when I saw the inflation was going to hit the market, and we were going to start to see things happening. And
This
I
was
would be
early.
surprised. Let's see. That one's early.
This was early. This was
Well, that
like
was early.
2022.
There you go.
This is like because it's crazy because like this is all 1/10 ounce gold. And people kind of poo-pooed 1/10 ounce gold, like, oh, I only
Oh
stack
yes.
1/4 ounce gold. That there was a little bit of YouTube, like the YouTube specialists were like, oh, it's either 1 ounce or quarter ounce. Quarter ounce is more user friendly. But what about the 1/10 ounce, the most popular coin the US Mint
Yep.
sells more often than not? And it's like, no self-respecting YouTuber would stack this. It's like, well, once you fill this puppy up, this has literally gone from $4,000 worth of gold you can store in your pocket to $10,000 worth of
So Silver
product
Heist,
you
I'm
can put
hearing
in your
that
product.
they can't hear you as well. Do you
Oh,
have a way of
really?
maybe yeah, do you have a way of turning up the microphone? I don't know.
Oh, okay. Bummer. How about that? It's a little better, maybe. um I didn't know we were. Is that just 79 saying she can't hear us, so she pulls our leg? But if it's real, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
So,
for mine too. Is it better, guys, or is it?
I can hear you pretty good. How is sound?
Agree with you, Silver Heist. Now, I've never pushed quarter ounce. That's come from a lot of other stackers. I either have 1 ounce or I have 10th ounce,
Yeah.
at least in bullion. When it gets into pre 33, I kind of have all the different sizes. But um, I'm okay paying the higher premium for 10th ounce in the past, because what I was looking at is I was looking at if gold doubles from, um, you know, $1,500 to 3,000, and then it doubles again from 3,000 to 6,000, and let's say it doubles one more time to 12,000. Those 10th ounces are going to be a lot easier. For me, it was kind of relative. Like, I didn't get bent out of shape over the premium. I just looked for better deals when I bought. I typically bought below spot price or price most of the time. Um, so I bought a lot of lynxes and toros from Spain
Uh-huh.
at wholesale,
That's nice.
and I still have a bunch of those. And I think I paid around $240 for those each, and now they're going for about $500. So whatever premium was in there is long. It's a thought of the past. I'm not even worried about it.
Yeah. No, that's the way I view the did I pay 20% premium for a 1/10 ounce gold eagle? Well, yeah, when I paid $230 for the coin. It's like, do I care that I have 10 of those for $2,300? Not really. I
Not
mean,
anymore.
I'm happy. Like, I'm not worried about the price, you know. If I'm holding an ounce of gold that I paid $2,300 for, I'm pretty happy. So,
Yeah, that's good. So
and
one
it's
other
the same
reminder,
thing.
guys.
Yeah.
Double tap the screen. That'll do the thumbs up. If we get up to 100, we'll do a GA of silver, and if we get up to 200, we'll do some even more GA stuff. So Silver Heist, I did see from Sean's Precious Bullion. He sent me a message when I told him we were going live,
Uh-huh.
and I think he has 60 or 70 cigar boxes he's been holding
Oh yeah.
and
For who?
storing this year so
For who?
far.
For you or for me?
For you,
For me.
are you going to do it
Awesome.
again?
That was sure. Yeah, that would be great fun. No, I appreciate
Okay,
Sean sending those out. They're awesome. I mean, in some ways, 60 is a lot. We could try and use them for something else, but like my Christmas show is usually about 20 to 30 cigar boxes. I don't think I've exceeded 30. So what I did for Christmas is that I basically take a cigar box and then I put in a nice semi-collectible coin in it, and then I sell the box to my audience and then let people take turns picking a box. So like if you said I want box number 2, you don't know what you're going to get until we open the box. Then it's yours.
got it.
And then we kind of do the same with the next person. So it's great fun. And so I have to kind of I need to kind of look through my inventory and see if I have 20 unique cool things. I don't want to sell. I don't want to have 10 similar items in 10 cigar boxes. Um, so we want some variety. But the cigar box is a huge variety because people also pick. I want the red box. Give me number 3. I want the
Got
orange
it.
box.
Okay.
Give me number 7. So people kind of pick the box and then they see what the coin is. So it's a blind gift on the inside. So great fun.
I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
And anyway, so guys, look for that as we get closer to Christmas. Subscribe to Silver Heist channel so you guys don't miss the notifications when it comes out. I'll probably have a notification on my channel as well when
That'd
you're
be
getting
great.
closer to it, because it is a fun time to go to it. So,
Awesome.
we've talked about gold and silver going up, and I agree with you. I believe that we're in a multi-year bull run with gold and silver. What we've seen in the last 2 weeks is not normal, even in a
No.
bull run. That was pretty explosive. Um, the momentum still feels like it's there. Um, I am not rushing out to sell. I don't feel like we've hit a top and we're worried about it. Frankly, I bought more silver mining stocks today. They were
Okay.
on sale by like 8 to 10%.
Wow.
Um, I'm also in the process of trying to find some more junk silver, constitutional silver. I'm looking for more dimes if I can find them. And what I'm hearing is that a lot of the refineries have not been taking in more silver um, recently because they are backlogged. And what I'm hearing from my back channels is it's not a backlog because there's no demand for silver, but it's a backlog because the refineries cannot refine very quickly the 40% silver, even the 90% silver. They just don't want that right now. They're looking for the more 3 nines fine pure that they can
Right.
melt into the big Comex bars,
Sure.
and the demand's coming from Comex and LBMA to to refill the ETFs.
Yeah.
And so they've kind of put things on hold. I'm also hearing that there may be a financing issue where typically they give 90% of the cash up front when a coin shop sends them raw material, and no interest rate, and that's changing now where they're starting to offer, or they're putting in an interest rate and other things like that. So if those are real things, that's maybe one of the reasons we're seeing some of the weird things going on, like dealers having a lot of constitutional silver, the premium being super low, yet there's a demand for eagles, and I'm seeing like an $8 premium on eagles. I don't like $8 premium on eagles. That feels high, but it has been higher before.
Sure.
And so for me, I'm looking at what is the best price. And I think if, for people watching, if you contact your LCS, you might find that they have a lot of constitutional or junk silver laying around that they may be willing to give you a really good deal on. So that's
Yeah,
just
I
a
think
tip.
that would be a good tip. That would be a good tip for sure. So, I think we had a
So I wanted to,
buffering issue before, and maybe I'm not talking loud
yeah,
enough. So I'm going to try and talk a little louder. But
I think we're okay now. So Nick's
yeah,
Coins jumped on here. I know you know Nick's Coins.
yes. So hello, Nick. So someone's in the World Series, or someone's in the playoffs on the West
Yeah.
Coast. So how's your team doing?
Dodgers are doing really well. They've won the last 3 games, so we'll see what they do today.
Nice. Very cool.
So I mean, look, here's the problem with some of these teams. When you go and spend the kind of money the Dodgers have spent or the Yankees spend, it's almost ridiculous if they don't win,
Well,
right?
yeah, I know. That's why
And
I
they don't
love
always win.
that's why I love Moneyball. That is such a great
Yeah,
movie. Brad Pitt, I love that movie. That's just so good.
it's a good movie.
Yeah.
So I do want to get some questions from you guys in the audience. So a couple quick reminders: double tap the screen. I know it's a little obnoxious. We're going to keep doing that because we want to see. We're experimenting here to see how this format works versus going the widescreen. But double tap that, and just so
Or
you know,
hit the
Silver Heist, this shows up on the Shorts feed as
Okay.
well as on the Shorts live feed. And
Yeah.
so they show it to a lot more people versus just going into the video feed
Oh,
with
that's
a normal
cool.
live stream.
And you can hit the old if you're on your laptop, you can hit the old-fashioned thumbs up, because some people
You
might be
can. You
watching
can hit the
that
thumbs
way.
up.
Yeah. Because I think we're
So
at
do that, guys,
76.
and then we'll do a GA when we get to 100 here. But go ahead and start putting questions in too. I know there's a lot of stuff going very fast here too, so we'll try to get to them. But I'd love to hear what your guys' questions are. I had a few people asking me questions about
How about this? Like we put
how do I
3
stack? How do I get started?
ask question, ask question with question mark so we can see it. So it jumps out.
Yeah, either bold or put a bunch of question marks around it. That'll help. Yep, there you go. I like that. So,
So,
so Silver Heist. One of the things I've noticed from your videos too is you figured out how to build a strategy around stacking
uh-huh.
to where you might be able to get coins to multiply themselves. And
Yeah.
one of those examples I saw was the flowing hair.
Yes.
And then I think there was another example that you had too in the past where you were able to put together kind of an arbitrage type opportunity where you were able to increase the weight that you had.
There's a few times I've pulled off something. And those opportunities I think still exist, although it could be harder. So the first thing I did that was a trade is I coin roll hunted, and I used to get boxes of half dollars in 2018 or 2019. And then it kind of came to a big halt in 2020, or after a couple of months of 2020. So I coin roll hunted, and sometimes you get a 90% coin, sometimes you get three, sometimes you get one, and 6 40%ers. So I had a pretty good pile of 40%ers. And
Nice.
I had a frequent commenter who said, "Hey, how would you like to trade your 40%ers for a 1/10 ounce gold eagle?" And I'm like, "Sure." It's like, because literally, I don't know if I traded them like 75 half dollars for a quarter for a 1/10 ounce gold eagle. But to me, I literally paid like $37 plus hours and hours of labor. But it was like it was $37 in face of, and it might have been the wrong ratio. It literally could be like 110 to 1, like in 2020. But still, I was operating from a luxury of like having $35 worth of cash tied up in those half dollars. So it's like, yeah, and I trust the guy. And like that's literally one of them in here. That's one of the one
Got it.
tenth ounce gold eagles. And so I did a couple of trades, and this is where, I had half ounce eagles and quarter ounce eagles. And at some point, I might have thought of myself as a half ounce eagle guy because I never was a full ounce. I didn't have the budget for that. But at one point, I counted the ones I had. They're all in flips. And I'm like, holy smokes, I have like 8 of them. I only need like a couple more. I'm a 1/10 ounce guy. I mean, like eventually you have to realize who you are. And so one of them was a trade, and the other 2 or 4, I think it was 4, I got my father-in-law to buy a hot coin on the US Mint, and I did the same. And I'm not sure, I'm a little fuzzy on the details, whether it was a um, a V75 privy, or was it the V75 metal? Like it could have been a V75 Silver Eagle, but I literally took like a hot coin I
Those
bought for
those are
eight.
fancy.
I bought a hot coin for $85, and there was a guy on Instagram that I trusted because other people bought stuff from him, and he had a coin store in Florida, and he did a lot of stuff on Instagram. So I figured he was legit. So I literally took one. I took. I bought an $85 coin. I boxed it up, sent it to the dude. He sent me back a $50 bill and 2 1/10 ounce gold eagles. And then I had my father-in-law buy the same coin, and I sent it to him. So I'm pretty sure it was only like one coin, and I have to watch my own video to see like what the heck I did, because in some ways the videos are kind of like a log of everything I've done, so I
That's
could
true.
remind
Yeah.
myself of like, what the heck was that deal? Was that a V75 privy, or was that the other metal that they came out with that was
Well, the
victory?
V75 privy, those,
Yeah,
if you're able to get if you were able to get it not graded and find it, right? And
yeah,
and just pay the, let's just say, a regular price for it, right? Not a premium.
right,
You get those graded if they came in as MS70.
right.
I think they were going for like 600, $700, maybe 800 bucks, somewhere pretty
Well,
high
see,
like that.
but to me, having two $200 gold coins and a $50 bill was worth it. So, like, it could have been worth $600 or $700, but I sold it early for like 450
Yeah.
equivalent, and it only cost me $85. So that's what my memory tells me. Like, the reality could be a little off, but the spirit of the story is true. And so I literally got, so of this jumpstart, I jump started this with like 5 things that I wheeled and dealed on. So that, and then I'm like, well, I can afford to keep buying these without wheeling and dealing. So that was the second thing to click, is that, $200 a month, I can lock into that. And now you have to kind of save 400 or $500 a month. Can I lock into that? But literally
I
a few
know.
years ago, it was like $200 a month. I just paid off my car loan. That I can do that easy. Like, I'm used
Well,
to
so are you thinking about sticking with 1/10? Are you starting to think maybe going down to
well,
grams?
how much? Nah, I'm gonna stretch to the 1/10. I see it in the past 18 months. I started to think, well, this sucker's full. Maybe I should get quarter ounces. But I found myself buying them less frequently, and then
Yeah.
the 1/10 was once a month or 10 times a year. The quarter ounces, if you're not careful, you might be you might be at the end of the year and you might have only pulled the trigger a couple times. So like, that's why I like the 1/10 ounce. I think I can pull the trigger more often and just not let the year slip past you, you know.
I think
So
it's good. So I've got a couple questions for you, Silver Heist.
yeah, great.
The first one, thank you, Long Lived Coins, for a $10 super chat. Those
Oh
are much
yeah, awesome.
appreciated.
Vinyl.
Um,
I'll bring some vinyl
Vinyls.
out this weekend.
Okay, good. I think that's awesome. And then the other question I have for you comes from Decibel.
Okay.
Fairly new stacker here. At these prices, would you stack sovereigns or generic rounds, junk, or 3/9 fine silver?
Okay. I mean, it depends. You definitely want to shrink the things that you go to. So I think constitutional silver. So let's just say we're talking about Americans. Constitutional silver, junk silver. I think that's a good one because it's cheap right now. I don't think it will always be cheap. It might be harder to sell today, but not in 2 years. So I still think you're getting a deal, and you could buy, $30 worth at a coin store, or you could buy $300. I mean, you don't have to buy a huge $1,200 bag from an online dealer. So like that's what's good about
Yeah.
that. Um, but yeah, premiums and eagles, I would keep an eye on that. Now I will talk about what's in your cart. The eagles were in my cart. But you got to keep an eye on that. And I've never really been a big generic round purchaser. I kind of did 10-ounce bars instead, and um, I think those give you the good price advantage. But if a dealer is doing an online spot price and they're selling 3 or 5 generic rounds for spot price, then I'd take that deal and add a couple things to the cart and round it out. And so like if you're gonna start buying online, I'd say that's what I just did at my new sponsored channel sponsor. So um, so Summit Metals, I bought 5 ounces of generic silver for spot, and then I added a couple other things and made my purchase. So like I'd do that, unless you're shopping locally. So
Do you guys have sales tax on metals?
Massachusetts does,
Yeah.
yes, which
Okay.
stinks. Um, which is the nice thing about the LCS. I don't have an LCS I'd like to go to often. Um, there's some place I can go to in 20 minutes, and there's some other places I think are accessible like an hour away. And so I say, geez, I'm not going to spend an hour driving and an hour coming back. But then I spend 3 hours shopping online. so so I
Oh, that happens.
so like you could just circle like which deal. Let me go to this. If you have like 4 dealers and you just sort of just go from one to one to one, and like, well, I can get a better price in fractional gold here, but wait a minute, I can get a better price in eagles here, and you just sort of go round and round and round. Um, so um, yeah, so I'd pick like 2 things, maybe 3. So right now for me, it's fractional gold, silver eagles, and probably constitutional silver. Maybe not the 10-ounce bars for the moment. I think the fractional silver can help.
And kind of my take on it, I think your best bang for your buck right now is junk or constitutional silver.
Yeah.
Um, I would shop it around a little bit. Andy Scheckman from Miles Franklin has had a standing deal, and I believe it's still there for spot price for it. If you guys have interest, you can email him info@milesfranklin.com, and then just in the title put interested in junk silver, and the body just let him know that Stacking Surfer sent you, and he'll take care of you on that. But I think they still have a spot deal going, so I would definitely check on that. His video from Monday, he went crazy buying a bunch of silver. Either he filmed that on Monday, so my guess is he probably did it the previous week, and he started doubling down on it. But he also hedges, so he has ways of being able to do that. But I like the constitutional silver right now. Now, I did pick up some rounds in the last couple weeks because they were 50 cents over spot. And to me, that looked like a pretty good price. One of the tubes ended up being a bunch of, 20 Engelhard prospectors. Um, I think they're from the 80s, 86 maybe, if I remember correctly. But those were pretty cool. There was some other vintage stuff that was fun. But typically, I try to go for eagles. I try to go for silver eagles and kind of, save up for those
Okay.
when I can get them at a good price.
Sure.
If it's like a more than a $2 or $3 spread over a round,
Yeah.
um, then I have to think about it. I either go with a 10-ounce bar, like you said, which could be even less than the rounds, or I go with a round. But if I can get eagles at the same price or close to the same price as rounds, I'll take eagles all day long.
Do you want to know what's in my cart?
Oh yes, let's talk about your cart. What's in your cart right now? What are you
Okay,
waiting to
what's in
buy?
my cart? What I'm waiting for delivery in about 10 days. So I paid with e-check, so that's going to take a little while.
Mm.
So I was kind of jumping. I was, quarter ounce gold eagles are a lot. They're over 1,000, so it's like, should I just get that and only that, or should I get something else? And so literally things are very dynamic, because literally 2 weeks ago I could have gotten two 1/10 gold eagles at a lower premium than a 1/4 ounce gold eagle. But things are very dynamic and change. So then the things were more normalized when I was looking today. So 1/10 ounce gold eagles were more than quarter ounce in terms of premium percentage. So I went for a 1/10 ounce gold eagle, but I found out that the dealer that I'm shopping at had the Perth Mint horse lunar coin, and so I bought a 1/10 ounce lunar gold. So this is all my Perth Mint lunars and kookaburras. So and
Ooh,
not enough, but some.
I haven't bought those in a long time.
Yeah.
Those look really nice though.
Here's a tip from. I hope I'm not sure who I got this tip from, but this is a nickel tube which fits Perth Mint capsules perfectly. So let's see which one
So there's
comes off
another
on
tip,
top.
guys. Nickel tubes for those. But one
So
of the
this
reasons I
is,
like those is, especially this or the Tiger.
yeah.
Um, those I ended up selling mine because I got
Okay.
such a great premium for them on eBay when I did. But I kind of regret doing it because I really like those coins. And I probably should have held on to at least one. But the kookaburras are great too.
Kookaburras. And then
Yep.
I don't have. I'm behind on these, but this is my platinum kookaburras, but I think I only have 2 out of 4 or 5 of them. But there's a new horse, which is awesome. So what do I have? I have and so the other takeaway is, when you buy these things early, like in September, October, they're lower premium than eagles. So get your fractional.
Yes.
I probably I was tempted to buy 2, but I don't really want to sell it to then just flip it into an eagle and pocket $30 cash. So I kind of paid the eagle price and the horsey price, but literally I could have saved myself money and bought 2 horses.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is
It's
the
it's a good
time.
it's a good point though too, guys. Like I've noticed when I bought my Queen's Beast completer coins, I ended up buying two of those and I sold them to turn it into three coins.
There you go.
Um, and I bought those for less than what an eagle would go for, right?
Yeah,
A lot of times the lunar coins, if you buy them right out of the gate, you
which
can
is
get
now.
a really good price on them for the horse right now. I guess it's you're the horse.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a good looking coin.
it is. So we will do a silver ga at the end here, guys. We hit over 100. If we can get to 200, we'll do even more silver gas. And we'll do something else cool for it too. So another question from Sean Precious Bullion. He
Yes.
says, "Can you both speak on the mindset of stacking without looking back? How to stack without having regret and having to worry about what you are buying and what to expect in the future?"
Okay. How about this? no regrets. So that's one way to look at it. The other thing is like, did I regret? Well, I think if you stay within your budget, then there ought to be no regrets. And if you don't have to sell, then I don't have any regrets at all.
Yep.
Because I'm not boxed into a corner where I need to sell. I didn't buy Silver Eagles when they were going for $18 over spot or even 15 over spot. So like, I don't regret that because I didn't do it. But if I was jammed and I had paid $45 for a coin when spot was 28, I might have regretted that if I wanted to sell it at some other spot. Like spot went down to 20. So yeah, I mean it's an up and down battle, but if you're holding for multiple years, there ought to be no regrets. So I think that's one way to look at it, is the longer you hold, the less regrets you have.
And then I do research on how to best buy. I do research on the kind of product and price, and I look to see where the best place is to get it. And then from there, I put down my goals and my budget, and then I start to execute. And so because I started with an exit plan, there are no regrets. Now, I mentioned a regret a minute ago. That was not a regret on buying anything. That was a regret on maybe selling a lot of my product, realizing, hey, I kind of like one of those coins, so I may try to look for one again and pick up a 10th ounce of it. And that's not really a regret as far as stacking goes. It's more of a regret of, hey, maybe I kind of go through this phase every once in a while of having fewer SKUs that I buy, and then every once in a while I'm like, hey, I want to get something else cool. Like here's a silver coin that I actually got from Silver Heist. I've got a video coming out tomorrow or Sunday on it.
Nice.
Some of the audio didn't come out, so I'm
That's
gonna have to
okay.
play some tricks.
That's okay.
But this is the Mayflower, and so I'm going to talk about this coin.
Nice.
And I do think it's cool having coins like this, not just only eagles.
Right.
And then I'll show you guys there's a gold version of it that's a 1/4 ounce.
Very cool.
From the UK too. So that's pretty cool. And I had this one graded. It came in as a 70, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
So it's fun to do that. But
Yeah.
for me, it's the strategy, right? I look at gold and silver not as an investment when I'm buying physical. For the most part, I look at it as a way to move my money from fiat dollars that continue to lose value due to inflation, due to bad decisions that the government makes in a lot of times. Um, and I also I spend fiat easier, right? My family spends fiat easier. If I move it into something that's just takes another step to liquidate, um, we tend to budget better. And so for me, it's just moving money from one form to the next. Now, there are products that I will buy from time to time that's an investment, like our flowing hair coin that we did, where we had 5 people and we did a live stream, and each of us bought a flowing hair silver coin, hoping we'd get a privy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the mods can find that. It would take you probably a minute to find that video, but you could put the link in the chat potentially, or maybe we'll add it. You guys can go look for it. But um, one of us pulls the privy, okay,
Yeah.
and that ends up making it so that everybody that spent $109 on a coin was able to get a profit of $1,000 plus keep their original coin that they had. And so one person did pull a privy. You guys
Yes.
will have to go watch the video to go see.
That's
But
great.
that was an investment to me, right? That was something that I was looking to do as an investment. We were, it's maybe a little bit of a gamble. However, I thought the coin was cool anyway. So the gamble was that it was going to become an investment, not gambling to buying it in the first place. There's
Right.
other times where I'll do more investing with gold and silver, where I buy silver and gold miners. That's more investing, and it's not a long-term hold. I mean, it is kind of a long-term hold. Like I'm looking over the next 2 or 3 years. But as we start to see oil prices going up, um, and we start to see, gold getting into the, $6,000 to $10,000 range, wherever it ends up going, I'm going to be selling those and then trying to buy some more physical metals with it. And those will actually go up a higher percentage than the gold does, so it still works out okay. But for me, that's more of just kind of having fun with doing some investing there. The key for me is having the physical so that if there is an SHTF or there's some other issues that go on, I've got real money in my hand that no one can take, which I think is pretty cool. So let me pull up another
Yeah,
question here.
sure.
Let's see. And I don't know if you've seen any on there you want to hit.
I haven't noticed any questions. Someone asked, OC Stacker asked if we were going to do the Christmas party, and the answer is a big yes. And thank you to Sean's Precious Bullion for providing cigar boxes. So we'll have a big Christmas party live stream. So we'll keep an eye on that. I mean, I will say I've tried to simplify my SKUs on the gold mining too. So I ought to do a story on this, but like I think this took me too long to sell things, but I kept adding to GDX, and now I have a nice little pile of the GDX gold mining ETF, and it's done tremendous. And I mean, and my mind's not quite there, but like I have things. I had things I bought in 2022. I bought the GDX on the July 2022 dip, where like silver went to $20. I bought like GDX, and I've bought it here and I bought it there, and I bought it on the day after my 39-day warning for silver stacking forever
Got it.
video. I'm
Okay.
like, well, I just bought GDX. So like I may have bought some physical around that ball time, but I definitely bought some GDX then. It's literally up like 40 or plus percent in a month, like, or 50 days. It's nuts. So some of my GDX is like doubled, or I'm not sure if it's gone up even more, but it's gone up a lot. And definitely more than gold and silver. So
The silver
GDX.
miners haven't done as much as the gold miners, I've noticed.
Yeah, I'm
They're
not
still
sure.
trying to play catch up.
I have one small gold, and well, it's a big gold mining, but I have a small position in one. But then the silver, I have Keith Neumeier's First Majestic, and I've done pretty well with it. I bought it, and then I bought some on the price dip of silver. Then it wasn't going anywhere, which I think is more of a performance of them. And then I bought on their dip like last September, and it's gone crazy since, because they bought a fourth Mexican mine like around December, and it's doing very well. And so they're a
Yeah, so
producer.
I've got some of that too. Yeah, that
Yeah,
one's
so
doing
they're a
well.
producer. So like I'm kind of zeroed in on producers. So little getting more cautious on that front.
It also is nice when the stocks pay a dividend as well. So I have a few of them that pay a dividend out, which is good.
Yeah. I mean, the GDX like gives me a 3 or 5% dividend. So it's sort of nice to get a dividend, but you know what? The 3% is nothing compared to the 100% price
No,
appreciation. So, you know, dividend is kind
it's
of
just a
nice.
bonus with it.
It
Okay,
is.
so another question for you, Silver Heist. We've got one here. It says, should we steer away from 40% silver?
I would have to say, unless you're coin roll hunting, I would say yes. I mean, I think
I wouldn't
if
buy.
you,
I don't buy it.
no, I think if the 90% is, I mean, they definitely put the total kibosh on, war nickels and 40%. There's no way refinery is touching either of those products. And shockingly, they put the kibosh on the 90%. But there's no way they're not excited for the 40%. And I will say I walked into a famous YouTube coin store. I won't say the name of it, but he lowballed me on my war nickels. So I had to inch him back up. And I didn't say, "Do you know who I am?" Because of course he wouldn't know who I am. But I was standing next to someone famous, and he wouldn't budge. And he budged a little, but like I probably, yeah. So did I pay 95 cents on the dollar to buy my war nickels like in 2018? And did I sell them at a profit? Well, yes, but the dude only paid me like 80 cents on the dollar, um, when silver was $27. So the war nickels you're not going to get 99 cents on the dollar ever. So, and then there's some people won't touch it during special times, and right now it's a special time. So if you're holding a whole pile of war nickels, you're going to be holding them for a little longer.
All right, let's see. I would agree with that. So I personally don't buy them. I think I got them in one auction, like, cause I think I've got like 4 of them from an auction that came.
Yeah. I mean, I bought some war nickels. Like I met a dude. This is when I bought on Craigslist. So this was like 2017. So I met a dude and I bought like $400 worth of coins. Well, 400, cash, $400. And this was a long time ago. It was a huge order, a huge buy. And I'm like counting the dimes, and it was all random. It wasn't rolls. It was like, a certain amount of dimes, certain amount of quarters, certain amount of 90%. And then some war nickels. And I was a coin collector when I was a little kid, but I kind of forgot that war nickels had silver in it. So I had to like do math before we showed up. Because it gave me an email like, here's all the stuff I have. And then we're in McDonald's counting like the coins, and like I had this huge pile of silver dimes, and there was like one of them that was like 1965, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not a silver. I can see the edge on that. And so like I'm like, I want an adjustment on our agreed upon price. It's like, so
Yep.
but then when I walked out of McDonald's, I'm like, all right, he has my $400 in cash and I have a big pocket full of metal. But like, I'm like watching, maybe he's got a friend out here. You know what I mean? So it's like we're counting dimes and money at the McDonald's booth. And I'm like, well, I'm not sure how cool that was, but that's what I used to do in 2017 or 2018.
That's funny though.
Craigslist. I'm not even sure you can buy stuff on Craigslist. I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, these days, McDonald's is too expensive for me. I've got to go to cheap places like In-N-Out Burger, plus it's way better.
Okay, sure.
So, but I think 40% I stay away from it. War nickels, I stay away from those. I stay away from pennies. I stay away from um, you know, pretty much what I stick to is 90% silver, 3/9 fine silver or
Yeah,
better. I like US coinage. Um, and I do have some fun things that aren't from the US that I'll get every once in a while. Like this coin that I showed you guys earlier, that's the
yeah,
Mayflower. Um, I may hold on to this, or I may sell it, but this is one I was able to buy it. I think we got this 4% below spot at the Long Beach Coin Show, and we had a booth. And so I got that coin for a really good deal.
great.
And grading it, ups its value. And so now I get to decide, do I hold on to it, or what can I do with it? And I like kind of what you were saying, Silver Heist. It's one thing to look and say, hey, do I make 30 bucks off of something? Is it worth the hassle, right? It's another thing to say, hey, do you have a coin that you might be able to sell that you don't necessarily want to hold on to? And could that get you like double what you have, right? Could it double your ounces? Could it give you a bonus for that?
Yeah, that'd be
Um,
nice.
yeah. So Amy mentions Surfer copper pennies are great. They are great. I don't stack them. Now I always look through my change, and I've got
Okay.
a jar that's full of 1983 and older pennies,
Okay,
and so
nice.
I do keep them. Those are worth about 3 cents each, guys. I am tempted for fun to go get a couple penny boxes,
Yeah.
to see if we could do some coin roll hunting with them. Um, if they're hand rolled pennies, and we might have some older stuff in there. If it's just shiny brand new 2025 pennies, it's a waste of time. But um the time to really do a lot of coin roll hunting, it would be fun to do some of it. I did a box of dimes, quarters, and half dollars, and not a single anything worth anything. It was all modern, clad coins. um
Yeah.
Having to re-roll it was such a pain in the butt, and there's not a shop, or not a shop, but a bank around here that'll take change.
Yeah,
You
so
have to
that was a
re-roll it
key
all.
thing. That was a key thing for me, is I had a small bank. It wasn't a credit union, but I had a small bank that I was a account holder with. That had a big machine. It's like Coinstar, but it's theirs. And I would just have to show my checkbook, say, yeah, I'm account holder. And then there would be no fee. So I'd give them a receipt. Here's all my half dollars I just dumped on you. And then I just flash my thing and then give me cash. And then I took that cash to my other bank, who had the $500 box of half dollars waiting for me. So you never dump where the nice lady gives you the box. So you don't
No, always
dump
a different place.
you don't dump where you collect. You
Exactly.
collect from one bank, and you don't want to create a problem for them. So you bring it to another bank and you just dump it on them. So one bank is the dump bank, the other bank is the collecting bank. And then when you're at the bank getting the $500 thing, you can ask the couple of tellers, like, hey, any of you got like some half dollars back there? And like they may say, well, yeah, I've got like 3. And you never know. Like you might as well ask. But I haven't done that in a while. And so my copper stacking is totally limited to a 5-gallon glass jug that's probably got 2 gallons of pennies from just change. So it's copper ones, but not Wheaties. So it hasn't been fed by like cornmeal hunting and putting the pennies in there. It's just ongoing change. So, but my penny, I think
So just to clarify, some people were asking on the pennies
yeah,
here, Silver Heist, and I may be cutting you off.
that's
It was kind
okay.
of going in and out a little bit
Yeah,
for
no
me, but
worries.
it might be my connection. It's let's see. Yeah, okay, so you guys are right. So it's 1980, it's 1982. 1983 is the first year. So I'll have to go back through and see. I may have a few that are 83, but 82 and older are 95% copper, 5% zinc. 1983 to present is 2.5% copper, 97.5% zinc. So if you want to stack zinc, go ahead and get the modern pennies. I actually think that the zinc is actually becoming worth more than the 1 cent. So, and I think the 1982 and older, I think those are worth around 3.5 cents, something like that, based on copper.
Yeah,
By the way, the Dodgers are up by 3 right now, 3-0
there you
against
go.
Milwaukee. So, anybody watching that? If you haven't done so, hit double tap the screen there. If we get up to 200, we'll do another GA, but we'll have a GA here in a little bit.
Yeah, we're at
Let me see if there's any other
182. I
questions
think
here to hit.
we're at 182, I think.
Yeah, we got a lot of people in here.
Thanks
So
everyone
Rob said
for
he heard that
coming here.
China was buying silver at $100 an ounce. Have you heard that?
Not lately. I mean, if that's something in the last 48 to 72 hours, I had not. 6 or 15 months ago, there was a story that China was buying like all the dory bars, which are like the 80-90%
Yep.
mining product out of South America. So there was stories about that they were just buying things up that way. So not getting the 1,000-ounce COMEX bars, they're going straight to the mine
The
and getting them.
Dore, I think is what they call it.
Yeah, it's which I know First Majestic does. They get it into a bar form at the Mexican mine, and then they move that to a refinery in America to get it to the 3.9s or the 4.9s level. So it's like it looks like silver, but it's a little not quite as pure. So it's better
Yeah.
than just So there's that. I hadn't heard anything about that, but things are dynamic, and everyone's positioning for the future.
Well, what I do know is China's paying more for gold and silver on the Shanghai exchange than what's here in the U.S. And so um, I think what China is really trying to do is they're trying to influence and get as much metals, gold and silver, to China as they can. I think if you everybody, well, anybody with a brain in the world that is a world leader, their finance people see that the U.S. dollar is debasing quickly. We've printed one out of every $3 in 5 years, and they've seen that we can weaponize the dollar by sanctioning it and taking it away, like we did with Russia or to Russia. And so a lot of countries don't necessarily want to hold it. So honestly, I think what you're seeing here is China is trying to get as much gold and silver as they possibly can to make their country as strong as they can when there ends up being the next, financial reset, and we have
Sure.
a new reserve currency, and we may have 3 or 4 reserve currencies. We may not have one this time. Could be different.
Yeah, I mean, the U.S. is trying to get certain metals. I think the U.S. is saying, "Hey, we'll build a road in the middle of Alaska to get to that awesome mine that's making something that we want." So, like, we're kind of trying to set things up. So, we're trying to set things up in our backyard that we control, and then maybe set things up with some friendly people, some friendly countries, and you know. Make that happen. So you gotta get your rare earth metals or whatnot. So you need copper, silver, gold, but then the rare earths and other important things for sure. So there's a lot happening. So I mean, uranium was sort of a big thing. It's like, oh, maybe we should have some uranium from like Canada or US instead of going to Uzbekistan or some faraway place. So, you know.
Totally. So one other question. This is one I haven't asked you before that comes up in the chats a lot. So we
Yeah.
had one earlier, someone asking about pre-33 gold.
Okay.
And then a lot of times you hear going back with that. Are you worried about a confiscation of gold or silver of any kind?
Um, well, it's got to stay in the back of my head, but I would say this, and I don't want to throw shade on the people who believe this to be true, but I don't buy the story that pre 33 has some grandfather clause in just because they took 20 gold coins from one grandpa but didn't take the 3 gold coins from the other grandpa doesn't mean that pre 33 is exempt from the government taking what they hell damn want. So they didn't want a total battle, so they said, well, you can keep whatever the number was. I forget what the number was, so many dollars worth of coins, and so like you could keep so many double eagles. um wasn't a lot. um Compared to some people's stacks today, that they'd be taking your stuff. So I don't believe that that's exempt. There was that whole business about, oh, they had a big exemption for collectible coins. That might have been because the Secretary of the Treasury had like some crazy, super awesome coin collection, and he just kind of worked on it. I don't buy that. Was not
Maybe, we
some
don't know. Yeah, we
that
don't know
was
if they did or
not
not.
some kind of big thing to just exempt. What's the point? Everything in Fort Knox, well, not everything, like a third of Fort Knox, or certainly 99% of Fort Knox leading up until 1942 or 1947, 100% of that came from Grandpa's gold. And what the heck did Grandpa have? Pre 33 gold. It's like, so there's no exemption for pre 33 gold. Why did Fort Knox have like 90% gold bars instead of 999 gold bars? Because they were just in a rush to just melt Grandpa's gold into like, 100-ounce bars. They didn't refine it. They just melted the gold
Mhm.
double eagle straight into a bar without refining. So pre 33 does not get you safety from the government taking what it wants. So I'll just say that. If they want something, they'll take it. And,
What
so
about confiscation? Do you think that's possible?
confiscation. Um, well, so yeah, so I was kind of focusing on which gold isn't going to help you. Yeah, confiscation, anything's possible. And the tough thing is it confiscation, or is it just closing the off ramps? Like, is it just closing all the refineries and the bullion dealers from buying my gold? Like, if they make it very hard for people to buy my gold, it makes it pretty hard for me to sell my gold. So I think that's it. It's like the crypto. Like, is crypto anonymous anymore, or have they just closed all the off ramps and just, oh, you can go off this nice off ramp over here where you give up your anonymousness, and you can still use this off ramp until they close the off ramp. So the off ramp is really the thing where they would like make it hard for it to be valuable. So I think that would be the thing to look for. But if it still had value and you could find someone who wanted it, then that's your off ramp.
So I Go ahead. Sorry.
The other off ramp, and I think there was a novel written about this. Is like, all you have to do is outlive the tyrants. Like if you have children and grandchildren and you have gold and someone wants it, you just hide it for 60 years through different generations, and you just outlive the tyrants. Like there's your strategy right there. So your
I
kids might
agree.
not be able to spend it for 60 years, but maybe their kids can. You know what I'm saying? It's long term.
Yeah, I think so. For me, looking at confiscation, they've done it. They've done it here. They've done it in other countries. So you got to look at a couple factors. It depends on how desperate the country is. It depends on how dire the situation is. It depends on who's in power. Do they care about the people as much as they care about their legacy? Things like that. Um, to your point, uh, if we have a confiscation, I think it's going to be due to we don't have enough, wealth in the nation for the country to do whatever it needs to do. I think they would come after stocks. I think they'd come after IRAs. I think they would go after the bullion vaults. I think they would go after things like that, including crypto. I think they'd go after all the Bitcoin first and all the other crypto before they try to come after gold that's sitting at your house. However, um, it is the off ramps you've got to be concerned with. There could be some kind of a windfall tax. There could be 100% reporting from coin shops, things like that. And to Silver Heist, what he's saying too is if that kind of thing happens, you can always hold on to it and just keep it for your generations. I don't think there's a single stacker channel that I know on YouTube out there that tells you to put 100% of your money into gold and silver. Um, Most of them, if they're talking about it, they're in a percentage that's less than 50%. Maybe some have more than that. But there's reasons to do different things, right? To have different kinds of investments too. So if all your money's not in gold and silver and that does happen, you can just hold it and outlast the administration that's doing that. Silver was never confiscated before; that was still used as money. So I don't think that's a big concern for people. And then pre-33 gold, it's a mixed bag. There's people that believe that it can't be confiscated. There's people that believe that it can. Um, all of that was done through executive order, and executive orders can change. So, really the hope that you have owning pre-33 gold, if you're doing it for confiscation or you hold other kinds of gold, it depends on the lawmakers making the law and about the president that does the executive order. And so if it includes your stuff, great. If it doesn't include your stuff, you're probably going to hold on to it. But I wouldn't count on it happening, but you may try to hedge with that. And one of the ways that you can hedge with that is you can have other kinds of investments that are out there too. I always like to have at least 3 months of emergency funds for expenses when I can. Sometimes that drains down too fast. And then I've got to kind of look at my stack and say, hey, do I sell some metals to replenish that emergency fund if something happens? But for me, if you can stay out of debt, you can have precious metals in the back end, you have stocks and other investments, you're in the best kind of a situation you can be in. You can even have some crypto. I'm not anti crypto. I just don't trust it. But I do think you can make some money from it. A lot of people have. Heck, if I would have put all my money into Bitcoin in 2021 and 22, I'd have a lot more gold and silver than I do today. But timing those things is going to be nearly impossible to do. And at the end of the day, I'd rather have the physical, something that I hold, than a digit on my phone. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what I would say about that too. I think it's something that nothing's foolproof, right? But the odds of that happening too, I think, are fairly slim. But it's not zero. And at the end of the day, I think being well rounded is what's going to help you guys out a lot. Um, so Silver Heist, I don't know how much time you have. How much longer do you want to go?
We 2 minutes. No,
Two
we could go
minutes.
30. We could go 30 if you wanted.
Let's go to 6:30 or 6:30 my time, 9:30 your time. How's that?
Yeah, I've got 9:12. I do have like I have this, so this is a good thing to have.
He's kind
So
of he has a real physical clock. Mine's on a computer.
yeah, it's on a battery, but like I like the physical clock for visual, and so I stole it from downstairs and from the kitchen bookshelf. But yeah, it's because you just see it. Although this one actually has numbers, but like you ask your nieces or
Yeah, they don't.
or
What
your
are those
sons or
things?
daughters, like how do you tell time with these? Especially if they don't have like numbers, if they're like Roman numerals or they're just like
Yeah,
dashes. Like what's 9:15? What the heck is the 9:15?
yeah. Or
What's quarter after mean?
get them to do a rotary phone. That one will totally blow their brain.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
So
rotary phone, or even like have them open up a phone book and ask them why there's so many AAA insurances and all kinds of stuff like that. Um, it's always kind of funny. So Silver Heist, going into this next week, um, if someone's looking to buy and they were feeling, maybe they haven't bought yet, or they have more money that they want to convert over to gold and silver, um, and they haven't pulled the trigger quite yet on those funds, so they're looking to potentially buy. What do you think? Like, for yourself, what are you doing? Are you getting ready to buy a little bit more next week? Are you going to wait and see
well,
if
I
things
just
go
I
down
just bought
further?
like I just bought a half hour before the show.
He bought a half an hour before the show, guys. So
About a
he
half
he
hour
saw
before the
he bought a
show.
dip. He bought a dip.
I bought the dip. Um, so yeah, it was a little over 1,000. I don't know the exact numbers, and I don't want to pull up my email and show it by accident or something. So I bought a 1/10 ounce gold eagle, and then I bought a 1/10 ounce lunar horse from
Okay,
Perth, which is awesome. And then I got somewhere between 2 and 4 2025 silver eagles, and
nice.
but I didn't get the quarter ounce. The horse. Let me see if I wrote down some notes. So yeah, I think the gold eagle potentially I might have paid 19% premium, which is
Okay, on the 10th ounce eagle.
dynamic because literally like 10 days ago, I think I bought a 1/10 ounce gold eagle for like 7% random over premium. Like I got
That's really good. Yeah.
incredible, great deal, which was
Usually
better
don't get
than
that unless you're doing a full ounce.
I know it was better than any other quarter ounce coin on any dealer. And so I got a 1/10 ounce and I thought, oh, I'll just go back and get more. Well, they weren't at that price. So things are changing. So I think I paid 19% premium for the Eagle and I think, I paid under 12% premium for the horse. So a 1/10 ounce horse, lunar, I think I paid 11% premium over spot. So
That's not bad for 10th ounce, guys. That's a usually it's around 20% premium for those.
20 for eagles.
At
And
least the last
so,
5 years.
yeah. So a lot of these suckers were 20, not more than 25%. Most were 20. A couple were like 15 or 17%, but most of these were 20% premiums. So 20 is sort of my normal number. When I saw new for like 15%, I thought that was phenomenal. And, but I think, and then, so in the past, I would get a new one instead of a random year. Because in the past, I don't think people were selling their gold. And it was easier for online dealers to get a new one from the mint or from a mint middleman than to go hunting for random ones. So like the new ones were cheaper in the old days, but like now I think it flipped. I think the random year is a better price now because there are people who will say, you know what, I want my $10,000. Just give me my $10,000. And so there's enough old coins floating around out there that there's a better price on random.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the new, but the random one I got was pretty shiny. So it wasn't a beat up one, it was just random year. Um, so yeah, so I think that's literally my big tip would be that like these Perth Lunar Mint things are really awesome,
Dude, I
and
do like those a lot. Yeah.
it's a good premium like right now. And you could go to multiple dealers, and I think you'll find that their Perth price is probably better than the Eagle price now. So, can I show where I bought it from? Can I
Yeah,
show
do it.
something?
Totally.
So
Yep.
so this is where I'm shopping these days.
Summit Metals. It's backwards, but it's Summit Metals, guys.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yep. It's
So
okay. That's how YouTube does this. Yeah. This says StackingSurfer. It's all backwards.
let me open something else up. So there's 10 slots for 10 Eagles. So this is a 1/10 ounce size. So this was a good one. So I'm getting another one is coming, before Thanksgiving. It'll be in my hands. But now I've got something else for the Perth collection. This is my Perth
Do
collection
they
right here.
provide those cases?
They sell these cases for sure. Yeah. So they're it's almost like a business card holder, but with foam. Yeah. So they have them for 1/10 ounce size. They have a different one with 1/4 ounce size. So it's kind of cool. So, 10 of these babies, that'd be an ounce right there. So and it's my next project. I think that's gonna happen. So as long as you have on that's the thing. I mean, I'm not sure I've ever been bored, but I do have projects and not too many. So Perth Mint, Kookaburras, there's a project. It's only a once a year project, but it's sometimes you can like, oh gosh, I better get one before it flips to the next year. So like, that's the Queen's Beast. I think they wanted like a 3 or 4 a year commitment out of you. Like the Kookaburra or the
Mm.
Lunar only wants one commitment a year. Like I like that because then I don't really feel like I'm a coin collector, but I do keep the collection going. So there's something to be said for keeping the collection going. And there's something to be said for keeping the tube going. So that tube
Yeah.
is not full. That ain't full. So we need
So
some
as far as holders go, guys, I see J Hike says on Fire Guy. I do have a link down below to those tubes. So if you go into the description, you can go down. There's an Amazon link. It's an affiliate link. It doesn't cost you anything. A little bit goes to the channel for it. But On Fire has really good tubes as well as the capsules for the coins. What Silver Heist is showing you from Summit Metals is nice if you want something really flat. That's a good way to store them. Let's say you wanted to put it into a wallet, or you wanted to put it into you know you don't want a cylinder, right? That can be really good. um, the other thing you can do is you can find on bullion sites, a lot of times they'll have empty tubes you can buy. They'll charge you a few bucks for like an empty 10th ounce gold eagle tube. And then
Yeah.
Silver Heist, remind me again, for the Perth Mint ones in the capsule, what was the tube that you were using?
Nickels.
Was it nickels? Okay.
Nickel tube. So you could get this at Hobby Lobby. You could get like a nickel tube or anywhere or on Amazon. So James Elliott had a question about getting coins through an airport. So
I've done it a lot.
You've done it a lot? Okay.
I have.
In tubes?
I've done it in a few ways. So,
Okay.
um,
Okay.
here's what I'll tell you: if you have TSA pre and you don't go through the scanner, you go through the metal detector.
Yeah.
You can take small amounts of gold with you in a wallet, and no one ever knows you have it.
Okay.
So you can take grams, 10th ounces. It's not going to trigger anything off.
Right.
Um, Yeah, and I've done it with 10th ounces. If you're doing like a tube of say silver eagles or rounds of
Yeah.
silver or gold, those are definitely going to show up, and it's going to look like something solid.
Right.
So if it's just one tube of silver, you can let it go through. They're going to mark it, and they're going to pull you aside and look at your bag.
Sure.
So that's one option. The other option is you can ask for them to hand check it, and you can show them. You can even do a private hand check in a private room, and that you can take it out so other people around you don't see what you have.
Yeah.
Right now, we're barely at the tip of people actually even caring about gold and silver. The average person that might be flying in a seat next to you, most people don't even think about the stuff. Now, as it becomes more popular, as the price goes up and there's more in the news. If you're flying with it, I would recommend getting a private room. That's going to be your best bet.
Yeah.
They're not going to confiscate it. The rules of $10,000, that's internationally, that's not within the US.
Yeah.
So there really is no big issue with that. People that go to coin shows end up with a carry-on bag with like $100,000 of coins in it,
Well,
and
sure. The
they'll go
dude,
through.
the dude who took our nice coin to like the Baltimore coin show,
They had that.
he must have
They
traveled
did
with
that.
a lot of product. He
They
must
they
have
did, and so
suitcases.
yeah, suitcases of stuff. And so I don't know what they do with actual suitcases that would be
Yeah.
checked in underneath. I'm not sure how that works. Like there may be an
Right.
insurance for dealers to
Yeah.
do that, but not all of it can go, through the hand. I mean, you're not bringing monster boxes worth of silver and carrying that on to an airplane. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna knock you over.
I think I once took a tube of Libertats in my laptop bag through an
There you go.
airport, and it
Did they
dinged.
check it or did it go through? It did.
They
Yeah. Okay.
dinged, and then they asked me about it, and then I showed it.
Yeah.
But that wasn't too bad. But for a job once, I would pack. I had a lot of like electrical test, like all of our tools, like 90 pounds, and so like you could only get like 50 pounds through like check luggage. So sometimes I'd try and lighten the bag by putting in my laptop. And I just had all these wires and dense, weird electrical testing devices in my laptop bag. I just had this laptop
They're
bag
like, what is this thing?
full of metal. So like, well, they definitely probed me. I'll tell you that. They wiped my laptop
So
thing for like residue. They put me through the ringer, all because I was trying to save my company like a $20 bag fee or something. I went
yeah,
through
don't
the
do that. But
ringer.
I accidentally took one of those 2 ounce uh holy lances from Spectre's
Oh
coins.
no.
I took that on carry on,
Oh no,
and
are you
it look
crazy?
it looks like a weapon. And the lady's like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Oh freak!" Like I don't have time to check my bag,
Oh
and
man.
she's looking at it, and it's 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 sharp enough to probably puncture a
Oh, you're
carotid
so
artery.
lucky. I traveled
So
with a guy and we're at Logan Airport at 5:30 in the morning trying to go to Myrtle Beach, and he has his like buck knife in his carry-on. And it's
oh
like,
shoot.
dude, we have to go. We're supposed to be like doing business at 10 in the morning, like lose the knife because we're getting on this plane, you know? So,
Well, so here's how I got away with it, guys. I said, "It's a coin."
oh
And she looked
gosh.
at it and she goes, "Oh yeah, it says it's a coin." And she let it off.
Oh, it's
So,
Nui. It's a
so
dollar denomination.
it's a coin. It's actually worth, this much money. And she's like, "Okay, that's cool." And she gave it
There
back.
you
And I was
go.
like, because it's like
Oh
a three
man, you
hundred
lucked
dollar,
out. Oh
item.
yeah.
So
That
anyway, I
would be
lucked
at
out on that one. But
The TSA auction thing. Someone would pick that up for like pennies.
oh, they totally would. But yes, you can take metals. There's no like declaring 10,000 bucks. I mean, you could take $1 million cash in a backpack if you wanted to. They may look at your backpack
Oh
and realize it's
no.
all cash, and they may pull you over and say, "Hey, what is this?"
Oh no.
But
There's what's that thing called? It's not confiscation. It's the
cleaning it.
no, there's the other word. There's the other word. There's the thing where the sheriffs take you money, like guilty until proven innocent. Like there's that
That can
deal.
happen too, guys. So
Yeah,
um,
that's very
it
bad.
it happens a lot more in Mexico than it does in the states, but it can still happen here.
Oh yeah,
It's
no.
seizure basically is what they
Well,
do.
it's
Is they just
legal
take it.
seizure. Legal
Yeah.
seizure. They'll give you a receipt, but then you'll never get your money back.
Yeah,
I
if
mean,
there's
it's
like
like
white
a
powder all over your money and your backpack on the airplane, you're
well,
totally
what was this
screwed.
deal in California where the FBI like closed a whole like private
They
store that
they
had
did. It was
that
in
whole store that had like private safety deposit boxes, and they're like, you know what, one of
Yep.
those guys is a scoundrel, so we're going to
It
take
was in Beverly Hills.
them, and you're all guilty until proven innocent because one of them was a scoundrel, and who knows,
And they
was an
still have
alleged
not returned
scoundrel,
it.
an alleged scoundrel.
5 years later, they still haven't returned it. So, you know, vaulting can be good. If you've got a significant amount of metals at home and you've got people that come in and out of your house, or you show your face on YouTube or whatever else, vaulting may be a good option for you. If you're an apartment, vaulting can be a good option for you too. However, I would very much vet the place you're going to big time. Like the place I use, they do FBI background checks before they'll even return a phone call. And then
Yes.
when they do, you only can go in a couple times a year. Like 3 times a year is what's on the contract. And then you have to arrange a couple weeks in advance when you want to go in there. So
Yep.
it's all set up to make it hard for someone to put a gun to your head and make you go I can't
Sure.
access stuff.
Yeah.
So, but you got to look at the place. Some of these places have private safety deposit boxes. They don't vet things very well, and if the FBI thinks there's fraud and they're hiding something in there, you can lose all of your stuff, and
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do about it. You're
Right.
just not going to get it back.
I know. So it's a separate thing, but a dude mentioned
Yeah,
civil asset forfeiture. That's the word
yeah.
that
There you go.
escaped me. That, like, you drive down, there are people who will drive from like Louisiana to Michigan to buy a pickup truck or an 18-wheeler, and they're carrying like $80,000 in cash. I'm going to Michigan to buy a truck. Oh, really? Well, all we see is $80,000 in cash. We'll take that. Here's your receipt. Like, you got to be really careful with some of that
So
stuff.
to that point, if you do vault, um, if you have bars that have serial numbers, write all the serial numbers down. Take a picture of the serial number so you can show you have a picture, you have it written down. If you've got a graded coin, write down the ID number on it, right? Take a picture of it, things like that, so that you have a record of it if you guys do that. But for the most part, if you can hold it, is going to be best, because if you don't hold it, you don't technically really own it. All right, let's do our silver giveaway. We got over 100.
Okay, great.
Um, so I'm going to give you guys a choice here. We'll either do a silver quarter, or we'll do 2 silver dimes, or we'll do 3 silver dimes. So you guys let me know. One lucky winner, or do we want to do 3 winners? So put either 1 or 3 in the chat. Whichever one gets the most, we'll do that.
Okay. In the meantime, I'll answer a question. Ethan Melton wanted to know, should we buy silver this weekend? And so I bought silver 120 minutes ago. So I'd say yes. It's like, it is a dip. And so the reason I'd say that is that, I don't know, there's like 11 days until the next Fed meeting. So I really think, like, maybe things are going to kind of, settle down for a little bit because of like the China trade thing, or just settle down because it just went crazy for like 14 days in a row. They might
Yeah.
settle down, but I'm going to tell you, like, the day after the Fed meeting, it's going back up again, if not sooner. That's what's going to drive it. The next
So
Fed
OC
meeting
Stacker
and the
wants to
Fed
give
meeting.
out he wants to give out a 10th ounce gold coin. It looks like OC
At my
Stacker.
Christmas party.
I don't know.
We'll
He's
put one of those
volunteering it.
puppies. We'll put one of those puppies in a cigar box. That would be awesome. Like, you're gonna buy a 1-ounce coin and an awesome cigar box from Sean's Precious Bullion. But one person, there's a 1/10 ounce gold coin hidden somewhere, and it's total secret. Total secret.
Yeah.
And that would be great. So
I think it'd be fun if you
Hook me
do
up.
enough of them to make it
Yeah.
work, right? And then the price of metal's going up too. So, all right, guys, we're gonna do. Everybody wants 5. They want OC Stacker's 10th ounce gold, but I think I think he was being funny about it. I'm seeing more 3s in here than I am 1s. So, let's do 3 dimes, and
3
we'll go
dimes to
that
3
route.
people. 3 dimes to 3
Yeah, 3
people, or
different
3
people.
dimes to 1
So we'll
people.
do that. We'll do 3 different. 1 dime to 1 dime each to 3 people.
One
So
contest, or like 3
we're going to do
contests
1 contest. I'm going to give
with
you
3
guys a
winners.
question you have to answer.
So the first 3
And
people,
we're going to take
get the
number 4, number 5,
okay.
and number 6. Okay.
4, 5, 6. Okay.
Now you've got to be over 18. The rules are down in the description. You have to be a channel subscriber. If you're not, we'll kick it out. So,
How about residents of the
if you
United
win,
States? How
you got to be
about, do you have
residents of the United States and only shipping in the U.S.
correct? Yeah, that
It's
makes it
going to come
easy.
in an envelope to your place. So if you guys win, email me stackingsurfer@gmail.com. In the title, put "won a ga," and then you need to tell me which number you won and remind me what it is. And then we'll send that out. So, all right,
One guess only?
1 guess only, and you have to wait until I say go. Let's see. Okay, I put a coin up earlier, 2 different coins up earlier today. What ship is that? Go.
Nice. It's a great ship.
It's a great ship, but it was way smaller than I thought.
Did you stand
But
on it? Did you stand on it?
no, but
Next
it's
time.
still not. I
Next
mean, look,
time.
I've been on a cruise ship. I think a cruise ship is about the size I would ever want to go across the Atlantic.
Okay, there's a bunch of people getting the correct answer that I'm seeing.
All right, we
So
got to guess it now.
that's so try and do it on you. So let's just say
Let me
Stacking
pull up mine.
Surfer.
What comes up?
Yeah, he's doing his best. It's the way his eyeballs see it, not the way your eyeballs see it. So
Yep.
let's just put that
So I'll call
disclaimer
them
out
out.
there.
So we're gonna do number 4, 5, and 6. Those are the people that get it right.
Okay.
So the number 1 is Robert Glantz. So sorry, that one was number 1. Number 2 is T-Bird Stacking. Sorry about that. Patty Drake was number 3. So the first one we're going to give out, which is number 4, is Matt Winge.
Congrats.
Number 5, Garrett Humphreys.
Nice.
And number 7, wait,
No,
4, 5,
6.
6. Number
Yeah.
6.
Yeah,
Surfer
yeah.
can't spell or even count. That's going to be Electric Ninja.
Okay. Nice.
So go ahead and send that to me, guys, and I'll throw a sticker in there too. I'll
And
get
you
those
can always
prepared this
look
weekend.
is your email in your channel description?
The email's down in the channel description, so you can look that up
So
too.
that just gives a little bit more.
But I do you do have to email me today.
Yes.
If I don't get it by midnight tonight, I'll be doing these tomorrow. If I don't get it by midnight tonight, the gauze not going to come for like a month or 2. Okay, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm going to be super busy, and I've got to get these out and leave them
Nice.
with my family and stuff because I've got travel coming up. But all right, guys. So that's the Mayflower. Look for a couple videos coming up here. So first off, I've got a video coming out that's going to be about the Mayflower, and
Nice.
I had a chance to get an awesome tour by a great tour guide named Silver Heist. So that's coming out. And then I've got a handful of videos coming out about different ways to stack the different kinds of coins and how I do it. So those will be kind of fun. Those are beach walking videos. And then we'll continue to put stuff out when we have time. Uh, when I have money, I buy precious metals because I like to have it outside of just the cash, right? I just don't want a ton of cash. So I put away my emergency fund. And then when I have extra money, I look to go put it into other investments. Sometimes it goes into gold and silver miners. Other times it goes into paying a little bit more debt off, or other times it goes into buying more metals. If I have extra money and I'm looking to convert into metals, what am I looking for? I'm looking for good opportunities and good deals out there. I'm not FOMOing in. I'm not hurrying and buying because I'm afraid it's going to go skyrocketing up. I don't do that. But I also don't wait for it to go back down to 15 for silver because those days aren't going to come, guys. I would be surprised if we ever see silver below $30 again. I'd be surprised if we ever see gold below $2,000 ever again. And so, I wish silver would go back down to $1 and gold would go back down to $20. That'd be great. I could go buy a lot more of it. But if it ever did that, your $20 you wouldn't be making the same money you're making now anyway. Probably wouldn't have a job. All the jobs would be gone. So, I would look at what's going on this weekend. You can go to bullion sites. You can look at their special deals. Shop it around, see what's out there, and then most likely we'll see a little bit of a spike up on Sunday when China opens up, and then we might see a little bit of a shorting drop on Monday. But the Fed's meeting next week, and all things point to them cutting rates again. And as they cut rates, it's going to weaken the stock market, but it's also going to be bullish for the metals. So I think the trend is up. And for that reason, I'm looking at buying when I can. And when I see like a little dip like today, that's a good sign to buy, in my opinion. But I can't give you guys financial advice. All we can do is give you some good ideas, some thoughts, share with you what we're doing.
Excellent.
Any last words?
Thanks for having me. You reached out to
was
me
good
at like
to have
3.
you on.
You reached out to me
I
like
know,
3 o'clock. Like it was literally like 3 o'clock today. He's like, "Let's go live." Like when? maybe 7, 8 o'clock.
Today.
It's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So, yeah, so that was great. Appreciate it. Appreciate the meeting you and hearing some of your stories. Appreciate showing you the beautiful harbor of Plymouth Harbor and having some clam chowder. And
It was good. It was awesome. It
so
was good to meet your wife as well. So
yeah, Mrs. Silver Heist was very happy to meet you. And so if you come out again, we'd love to do it again.
yeah, it'd be awesome.
And if you bring other family, if you're so fortunate to travel with family in the future, we'd love to meet the extended family. So yeah, very cool. And so, and I don't have it handy, but you also gifted me with a wonderful Tim and Yankee round. So I have a Tim coin, and it's a very good likeness of Tim, and the likeness of Yankee is pretty good, but the Tim likeness is fantastic. So they really
The Tim
captured,
likeness is good.
They really captured
Yeah.
Tim. So very cool. So
Yeah,
all right.
maybe next year we'll get a Yankee profile. We'll have to see. But anyway,
Yeah.
all right, guys. Well, I want to thank you, Silver Heist, for coming on. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. If you haven't done so, hit the subscribe, the bell icon. Thumbs ups always help, and then go check out Silver Heist channel if you haven't already, and subscribe to his. He has awesome video, guys. Go look at some of the ones that he's had come out. It's thought provoking. It's pretty quick, and he always does it in a fun way. So.
There'll be
Anyway,
something this weekend. I've got to get cracking.
Something's coming.
Yes.
All right, guys. So thank you. Peace out. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you very much. Great to see everybody.